Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Ish. I am a former banker and finance strategist. And on this channel, I will be explaining money decisions clearly and responsibly, of course, without any usual hype. Now, in today's episode, we are breaking down side hustles that actually scale, not just the ones that just keep you busy, but the ones that actually grow into real income engines. I will also be comparing opportunities across the UK, the United States, and of course, my home country, Nigeria, because context matters here. And a side hustle that works in one country may fail completely in another. And as a banker, that's one of the biggest mistakes I see many people make. So this video is about leverage, it is about structure, and of course, sustainability, which is very important. So I'm not here to preach overnight success to you. I'm here to show you something that is both scalable and sustainable, and of course, to help you succeed in making wise financial decisions at the end of the day. So let's start by defining first what scalable really means. So, what makes a side hustle scalable? What are the things that can make it scalable for anybody looking into starting a side hustle? Not every side hustle is meant to scale, and this is okay. It's a reality. Not all side hustles eventually scale. But if your goal is long-term income, a scalable hustle must pass a few basic tests. Now, as itemized here, the first is, can it be automated? If you stop working for 1 week, does your income drop to zero, or does the system still function? This is why I'm asking, can it be automated? Or it's a question you need to ask yourself when looking into a side hustle. And the second is, does it grow without taking more of your time? So if doubling income means doubling your hours, then that's not scaling. It will eventually lead to burnout. And the third is, can prices increase as demand grows? Because scalability often comes from pricing power, not just volume. So volume does not necessarily mean it is scalable. Finally, can it serve beyond your physical location? Because global reach increases income potential and reduces local risk. So if it's something that is only scalable in one part of the country or world, then you may have an issue giving it global reach because it may not be necessary. It may not have a high level of demand in another location. So these principles apply everywhere. But execution is what differs country by country. So these are the basics I need you to look into when you're trying to determine if a side hustle is actually scalable. Now let's start with the UK. Hustles that actually work and scale in the UK. One strong option is print on demand, especially through platforms like Etsy, combined with Printful or similar providers. So if you're in UK, I'm sure you'll be very conversant with what I'm talking about. This works because production, delivery, and inventory are outsourced. So your role is basically branding and marketing. I'm trying to make this as basic and easy to understand as possible. You can also do your personal research to learn more on how you can actually jump in on this kind of side hustles that are scalable. Another scalable option is digital products. I'm sure you've heard this on so many channels here on YouTube, but I can tell you to retreat to this. Scalable option is digital products such as Notion planners or Notion templates. These have near zero marginal cost. You create once and you consistently sell repeatedly. So if it's something you've not explored before, please take a look at it. Digital planners and Notion templates work a lot. Most of the times they are very scalable, but it also has to be something you have an interest in. So for people who want a hybrid model, local courier services, especially through self-employed platforms like Uber, Connect, can scale by adding drivers than adding hours. So if you start it out and after a while you are making so much profit, you can get a driver for yourself or more drivers for the business, especially if it's growing. Finally, there's AI-powered resume and cover letter writing. We're in the digital world and AI is not just, well, it's not taking jobs, because I know so many people have said, oh, AI is taking jobs. It's actually empowering more people to do more. So AI-powered resume and cover letter writing, which works particularly well in the UK job market because it has templates, systems, and the automation tools will allow you to serve many clients efficiently. Of course, the common theme here is structure, not hustle culture. You need to have a certain level of structure in your business. I can even add ghostwriting. If you're good in writing, then ghostwriting is something using AI can help to empower you. You don't even need to, you can add it to your 9 to 5. Yes, you can actually add these side hustles to your 9 to 5 if you are living in the UK. In fact, AI resume and cover letter writing and ghostwriting is applicable worldwide. All these actually are applicable globally if you are interested. Like I said, it has to be something that you are interested in. So moving on to the US, income that actually compounds. In the United States, scalability often comes from digital leverage. And one example is faceless YouTube automation, where systems are built around scripting, voiceover, and editing rather than personal branding. Of course, you have AI to the rescue here. You don't need to necessarily sit down for hours to do this alone. Another is Airbnb hosting or co-hosting. So co-hosting allows you to manage properties without owning them, earning percentage-based income, that scales with listings. You can do more research on this. This is just a basic course to help you understand things, options you can look into if you've never explored them. Then we have the freelance AI content generation, which is also growing so fast, particularly for businesses that need speed and volume. And finally, we have online course resale or digital product distribution via platforms like Gumroad. It allows creators to earn from intellectual property repeatedly. So the US rewards systems, the systems it rewards systems, delegation, intellectual assets more than manual effort. So AI has made life so much easier for many people. Now, coming to Nigeria, hustles with potential to scale. So Nigeria offers different opportunities, often driven by arbitrage and demand gaps. So one example is palm oil storage. I've mentioned so much about it in my past videos. And in this case, where timing and storage create value rather than production. So another is digital mini importation, especially through platforms like 1688 combined with TikTok shop distribution. You can do more research on this and trust me, you will not go wrong. Like I said, the first thing is if you have interest in it, do your research, ask the necessary questions, and then don't wait for perfection, but start earning gradually and with time you scale. So this is the reason why I've termed them as scalable businesses because they have the potential to grow into large businesses. We also have freelance video editing for diaspora clients. So if you're in Nigeria, you can do video editing for diaspora clients. Is highly scalable because earnings are often in foreign currency, while the costs of doing the business remains local. We also have the POS terminal rentals, mobile banking kiosks that can scale by replication. Before you know it, you start from one shop, you scale into more. So in this case, you would be adding units rather than adding personal labor. Of course, at the end of the day, you'll be employing people to also support you in the business. So in Nigeria, scalability often comes from distribution, access, and operational efficiency. Now, before starting any side hustle, here are 3 filters I apply as a banker. First, does it generate cash flow relatively quickly? Long-term projects are fine, but cash flow stabilizes risk. The second question is the skill requirement low or learnable quickly? Do you need to expend so much to learn how to manage the hustle? Because hustle that takes years to master are better treated as careers, not side income. So third is there room to grow into a real business? So if there's no path to delegation, automation, or expansion, it is a dead end because you will burn out at the end of the day. So these filters protect both your time and your mental energy. These are very necessary questions you need to ask yourself before you go into any of these businesses. So even if they are scalable, you need to also have a sit down with yourself and decide if it is worth the stress for you at the end of the day. So here is the framework I recommend. First, choose one scalable hustle, not 3, not 5. Commit 90 days of focused execution. And then the third is to aim to automate or delegate at least 80% of operations. And finally, stick with it, passive or semi-passive income options over time. This is how side hustles transition into systems, and systems will help you to create stability. Now, the final takeaway here is don't just start a side hustle, start one that can outgrow your time. I've created a side hustle starter map to help you evaluate options clearly and strategically. And if you're interested, you can drop a message for me. So it's something that I can guide you through. And of course, as usual, if this breakdown helped you to think differently about income, subscribe for the next episode. And don't forget to like. And of course, I will be seeing you in the next video.